What's up, world? Here's what's up. Solar. So, what do you know about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Well, I'll tell you, if you're living in the warmer climate like I am, you're probably seeing it on rooftops more and more of homes, right? Probably also being inundated by pesky door knockers. Hey, you gotta go easy on the door knockers. I have to do it in my real estate business, not easy. Here's an interview I did with Brett Lambert, the solar broker, that hopefully will be informative and helpful. If you do find it helpful and informative, do me a favor, please. Smash the subscribe, maybe give me a thumbs up and maybe a comment, just so I know to continue doing this type of content for you and providing it. It's my pleasure. I actually love doing it. Hope you enjoy. Hey, I'm here with Brett, the solar broker. Brett Lambert, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How about yourself, Kevin?
Really good. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks. I know you're a busy guy, so we'll get right in. We'll jump right in. Tell us a little bit about you, yourself, and solar. How did it all come about?
Yeah, so I got into the industry about 7 years ago. I started out with Sunrun, then I transitioned to Colorado. I actually had one of the first installations out there. I got a good opportunity in California to expand towards Vivint Solar, which was one of the major companies, but they got bought out by Sunrun. And I've been building out KO Energy in Las Vegas, but still able to operate in 30 plus states currently right now.
Awesome. So it's going great, right?
I can't complain. Everybody's got to pay a light bill.
Yeah, that's sure. That's not going to change. So,
Yeah.
all right, I know a little bit about it. I know panels. I know inverter. I know sun. How does it work? How does it
Yeah,
all?
it's pretty simple. I mean, the main goal is just going to be to understand how much energy a homeowner is actually consuming. So what we always take a look at is going to be the kilowatt hours to justify how many panels that their home will need. So it all depends on the direction of the sun, et cetera. But we have software to actually generate a design that's going to be about 95% accurate. The goal is just simply to eliminate their electricity bill, either replace it with the cheaper, cleaner one, or give them a few different options that we actually do have available.
So it's important to have enough panels.
Absolutely. So we call that offset. So if you have, say you use 10,000 kilowatt hours in a year, the goal is to get you a solar system that's going to provide you at least 10,000 kilowatt hours. Depending on if your consumption doesn't change, you're not going to see an electricity bill, just besides about a $10 to $15 connection fee.
Cool. Okay, so now what happens if you don't have enough, for whatever reason? Are you able to add more panels?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you have enough roof space.
Okay.
So you'll also be able to monitor your system through any type of application that we have available, but you'll be able to see what you're producing for the day, the week, the month, the hour even. So it's pretty cool. It's very, very simple.
Very, very cool. Okay, so what are the different options in terms of obtaining it? I know you can buy it, you can lease it, and you can buy it. You can pay cash for it. So tell us a little bit about that. And if one, the advantage to one over the other. Are there any advantages? Obviously, cash, you pay for it, it's done. But do you get a better break? Do you get a better deal?
I always ask any homeowner on how long they plan on living there for. If they're like, hey, I'm going to stay here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years or never even move, I'm going to lean them towards an ownership option because it's going to make the most sense the majority of the time. If they're like, hey, we only plan on living here 2 to 5 years, I'd recommend them going with the power purchase agreement or a lease, because you don't have to wait on any type of return on investment. You don't have to take out a loan, so it doesn't affect your debt to income ratio. The goal of doing that is not to have a customer come out of pocket. We install the panels and just provide them with a cheaper, cleaner kilowatt hour rate. Now, for the ones that are going to live there long term, there's a huge tax credit that's going to be available at 26% right now. It's the biggest tax credit in the history of America that they can fully take advantage, and that will raise the home value as well.
How long do you expect it? So that tax advantage, which is great, is that set? Is it going to decrease each year? Do we know?
It's actually decreasing. Last year, it was at 26%. The year prior, it was at 30%. This year, currently, it's still at a full 26%. Next year, it goes down to 22%. And then it's up for extension. And if it doesn't get extended, there is no more tax break. So right now is the best
It's a
time.
good time. So probably more reason to get on to
Exactly.
get on it now. Okay. So jumping back to a question about the lease. So if you pay cash for it, do you get a better deal if you pay cash for it, if you're able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And the average return on investment can be anywhere from 5 to 8 years is what you'll see.
Okay, that's not bad. Now, if you choose to lease or purchase over time, is there a lien attached to it in a lease? If you know, because the whole thing is when you decide to sell your home, you get sold, you decide to sell your home, what happens at that point?
Oh, good question. So there, like say somebody actually financed it, right? There is a filing called a UCC1, because it's an unsecured loan. It just really states that they still have some interest in their home, whoever the finance company actually was. But it's very easy. If you wanted to refinance your home, all you do is call up your financer, and they'll do a temporary lift. Now, once that principal balance is actually paid off, of course, that's no longer there. But say
Right.
somebody still had a principal balance on their loan and they want to sell their home 5-10 years from now, or even a year from now. It's very simple. You could sell it with the price of the home. You could transfer the monthly payment into the new homeowner's name, or you could prepay it off as
So
well.
the new homeowner would have to qualify. So,
Yeah, but if they're buying a house in this market, as you know,
That's
being
right.
in real estate,
yeah,
it's going to be very easy to qualify for solar. Typically, you only need a 600 FICO score. Usually, if you don't have a 600, you can't even qualify for a home.
right. Okay, good information. So you're able to broker solar in 30 different markets. Well, I already know because you helped out a friend of mine in California and you actually saved the money. Tell us about California.
Yeah.
What's going on in California?
Yeah, so California, it's a great market. Utilities have gone up by about 40% in the past 2 years currently. So it's the best time to actually take advantage to go solar, especially to get grandfathered into the NEM 2.0 structure. So all that means is when you're selling your overproduction back through the grid, that's the process of net metering. It's like AT&T rollover minutes, the best way to explain it. You will get pretty much a one-to-one buyback of what the utility company is actually charging people without solar. If NEM 3.0 actually does get passed, or when it does get passed, it's still up in the air. It's going to be a 75% reduction. Right now, there is only a $10 to $15 connection fee to actually be connected to the grid with the NEM 2.0. With NEM 3.0, they're going to charge people $8 per kilowatt. In simpler terms, it's going to be about a $70 to $80 connection fee.
So that's quite a jump.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
What are the chances of that happening? Do we know? I know.
I wish I had my crystal ball, but
I understand.
It's been all over the news. Everybody can Google it. The NEM 3.0, they've been kind of pushing back on. So I just tell people take advantage now because there's a certain cap. So the NEM 3.0 is going to happen, but it all depends on how it's structured. But it's definitely not going to be as attractive as what's currently available.
Right. Boy, yeah. I lived in California, lived in the LA area for 30 years, and man, the expenses, it's got to be the power, costs there have to be higher than anywhere else in the country or up there.
SCE, SDG&E, and PG&E are the highest charging utilities in the nation.
I thought so. So all my California people, jump on it.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you, ask you about warranties. Tell me about the warranties.
It's 25 years bumper to bumper. So that includes the maintenance, insurance, monitoring, repairs, liability. If anything ever needed to be replaced, any type of component, there's nothing out of pocket for any solar customer. So it's not like a deductible. So it just gives people peace of mind. And that's contractual.
How about roof? Is there a roof warranty for the area where
depending on where you live, the bare minimum is going to be about 10 years. But there's places where you can get, and companies where you can actually get a 25-year roof warranty. So it all depends. It all depends. But
Okay.
there's also $1 million liability policy typically on every solar system.
Awesome. So you're connected to the grid. You have to be connected to the grid. If you have a backup battery, if someone purchases a battery, does that give them the potential to be off the grid, or what are the advantages to having a backup battery? And is that something that you do? Is that something that KO sells right now?
Yeah, I have battery options as well. But you're still always going to be connected to the grid. It's kind of like a myth where it's like, oh, I'm going to be self-independent. You can't. You're still always going to be connected to the grid. But in California, that market, batteries do make sense. They're not the cheapest, but you can take advantage of the tax credit on them as well. So it all varies,
Okay, so real quick, I know you got to go. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Where do you see it going from here? I mean, where do you see it, solar going? I mean, obviously, probably like I believe that, we'll all end up having it, at some point. But are there any changes that you see that are major coming up?
Technology is only going to keep getting better, but a kilowatt hour is always going to be a kilowatt hour. I mean, look at GMC, for example, all these mass manufacturers for even cars. They're all leaning into the direction by 2035. They've already vouched that all their cars are going to be electric. Right. So, I mean, it's the future.
It is.
10, 20, 30 years from now.
I heard by 2025 that the new Corvette, the C8, is going to be electric. So, that's
absolutely.
We're all, Well, okay, I don't want to.
It's inevitable.
Yes,
it's inevitable. We only have a certain amount of non-renewable resources, so if we could take advantage of the sun, save money, save the earth, it's a no-brainer.
It's like people fought the microwave and this, and right?
Absolutely.
Can you imagine life without this? So listen, buddy, I really appreciate you coming on and spending your time. What I want to do for viewers and people watching is, listen, if you have any questions, you can contact Brett at Contact Brett the Solar Guy. That's 3 T's. Contact Brett the Solar Broker. And if you have, you can also contact me. Like I said, he was able to help a few of my friends out, and I'd love to connect you with him. So, that being said, thanks again. And, Brett, appreciate you. You have a great day, buddy.
Hey, great questions, man. You take care. All right.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.